I'm Dalton Barrett with News Radio WGNS, and here are some of the top stories affecting Rutherford County on your Rutherford Roundup for this Monday, March the 24th, 2025. Health officials have confirmed Tennessee as the 19th state to report a measles case in 2025, with the infection identified in Middle Tennessee. While specific details such as the patient's location, age, or gender have not been released, authorities say that the individual is under quarantine and recovering at home. Efforts are underway to determine the source of the exposure and assess whether others in the region may have contracted the virus. Symptoms of measles typically appear 1 to 2 weeks after exposure and include high fever, cough, runny nose, red eyes, and the distinctive rash. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warn that measles poses a serious risk, especially for children under 5, pregnant women, and individuals with weakened immune systems. Complications can range from pneumonia and encephalitis to premature birth and even death. The CDC also notes that infected individuals can transmit the virus before showing any symptoms. As of March, 378 measles cases have already been reported in 2025, surpassing the total number for all of 2024, with 2 measles-related deaths confirmed nationally. Meanwhile, in Franklin, protests are underway at the local Tesla dealership in response to widespread cuts enacted through Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency initiative organized by Invisible Tennessee. This demonstration is part of a coordinated effort that includes similar protests in Bartlett, Chattanooga, and Knoxville. Activists cite large-scale layoffs and contract terminations associated with Doge, along with concerns about Musk's broader business practices. Tesla, one of several companies led by Musk, has faced backlash amid these developments, drawing attention from both state and national advocacy groups. In Murfreesboro, the city's Public Works Stormwater Division is making significant strides in infrastructure improvements with the recent acquisition of a Liebherr R936C excavator. The heavy-duty equipment allows city crews to handle large-scale projects that once required private contractors, saving taxpayer dollars and enhancing operational efficiency. Approved by the City Council, the nearly $300,000 investment is already proving beneficial as crews work in the Kingdom Ridge subdivision in West Murfreesboro. They're replacing 730 feet of failed plastic piping with durable 60-inch concrete piping, a project that would have cost $600,000 if outsourced. The Public Works Assistant Director, Tracy Bown, praised the team's capability and the long-term savings that the new equipment brings. With 14 team members, the Stormwater Division continues to manage essential, yet often unseen systems that protect and sustain Murfreesboro's infrastructure. Meanwhile, Rutherford County has seen a promising decline in vehicle thefts, according to the National Insurance Crime Bureau. Car thefts across the U.S. dropped in 2024, falling below 1 million after a sharp rise beginning in 2020. In Rutherford County, reported thefts decreased from 666 in 2023 to 544 in 2024. However, several vehicle models remain frequent targets, including the Nissan Maxima, Hyundai Elantra, and Hyundai Sonata. The reduction in thefts is partly credited to software upgrades and security efforts by automakers, especially for vulnerable Hyundai and Kia models. Still, officials continue to urge residents to take preventative measures such as parking in secure areas and keeping valuables hidden. Barrett Firearms Manufacturing planned expansion in Rutherford County has generated both enthusiasm and concern following the announcement of a new 250,000 square foot headquarters on Manchester Pike. While the move is expected to bring 183 new jobs and significant economic investment to the area, some local leaders and residents are urging caution. Rutherford County Regional Planning Commissioner Michael Shirley emphasized that the project is not yet finalized and will require a rezoning approval, as the proposed site is currently zoned for residential development. County Commissioner Jonathan Beverly confirmed that the public will have opportunities to voice concerns, particularly at the upcoming Planning Commission meeting on April 14th. Community members in the Buchanan area, including nearby resident Kim Rowland and Buchanan Community Alliance President Ricky Marlin, have expressed apprehension about potential impacts on traffic, noise, and rural character. While Marlin supports the idea of Barrett's growth, he advocates for relocating the expansion closer to Barrett's existing facility along I-24, where zoning and infrastructure already support industrial development. Elsewhere in Middle Tennessee, residents are being encouraged to prepare for upcoming federal ID changes. The Department of Safety and Homeland Security is expanding access to Real ID appointments at driver service centers across the state, including nearby locations in Nashville, Columbia, and Cookeville beginning in May of 2025. A Real ID with a gold star is required to board domestic flights and access certain federal facilities. Applicants must provide proof of citizenship, a social security number, and 2 forms of Tennessee residency. In Murfreesboro, authorities have arrested and charged a man in connection with a vehicle fire that occurred earlier this month. According to Rutherford County Fire and Rescue, 41-year-old David Victorio was taken into custody on Thursday following a joint search warrant executed by the Rutherford County Fire Marshal's Office. Victorio is accused of intentionally setting fire to a passenger vehicle on March 15th. The vehicle was discovered engulfed in flames along Asbury Road in Murfreesboro. Following an investigation, officials identified Victorio as the suspect and charged him with setting fire to personal property. He was booked into the Rutherford County Jail and later released on a $7,500 bond. The case remains under investigation as fire officials continue working to determine the circumstances that led to the incident. That same week, Murfreesboro police responded to a separate but equally serious situation involving a domestic dispute that escalated into a barricade incident. On the evening of Sunday, March 23rd, police received reports of a domestic incident that led to one person barricading themselves inside a home on Goose Creek Lane. A substantial police presence quickly formed in the neighborhood as officers worked to contain the situation. Law enforcement urged nearby residents to avoid the area for safety reasons while the incident was ongoing. Just over 2 hours later, around 7:15 p.m., the Murfreesboro Police Department confirmed that the scene was secure and that there was no longer any threat to the community. Streets in the area were reopened shortly thereafter. These back-to-back incidents reflect the continued vigilance of emergency personnel and law enforcement across Murfreesboro and Rutherford County. That's all for now. For updates on these and more local news stories, be sure to check out our website, wgnsradio.com, or follow us on social media at News Radio WGNS on Facebook and X. I'm Dalton Barrett, and I'll talk to you later.